I want to tell you the truth about focal length. Wides distort, telephotos compress, yeah, but that's not the whole story. Distance is what changes the perspective. Let me show you how. If I stand still and just change my focal length, this is the difference you get in the photos. If I change my focal length and my distance, this is what you get. Sometimes distance is more important than focal length. Focal length changes what's in the frame, but distance, that's what changes how things look. Wide lenses only distort if you get too close. And that compression look, like mountains appearing bigger behind your subject, comes from stepping back and using a longer lens to frame that relationship. The mountains didn't get closer. You just changed where you are standing. I'm Brenda from the Bergreens, and today I'm making a case that is not actually about the lens, but how you use it. So yeah, the 35 is a great storytelling lens, and the 85, epic for portraits. But the 35 can capture some stunning portraits, and that 85 can sure tell a good story. So let me show you where we're going, and then we'll break it down. On the screen, you'll see a wide and a telephoto shot from the same position. And when I crop the wide and compare the side by side, the perspective is essentially the same, even though my framing changed. Let's look at what happens when I take Mark's photo at various focal lengths. So we'll start here at 200, 135, 100, 70. All right, 50, 35, and 24. Now, as you can see, the perspective doesn't actually change. The 35 is not making him distorted, and the 85 is not necessarily the most flattering. All that's actually changing is the window into which we're seeing him. Now, watch what happens when I change my position and shoot close with the wide or far with the telephoto, which is what we usually do without even thinking about it. Now, there's a dramatic shift in how the image looks. So what we need to do is not just change the focal length we're using, but change our distance. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of Mark at 200 from the top of his buttons, or from the middle of his buttons. And then at 135, I wanna match that framing, so I'm gonna walk closer. And at 100, and at 70, and now at 50, and 35, and at 24. So now you can see that he does look more distorted when I shoot with the 24, but it's not the focal length, it's my distance to him.
I look better from far away.
He looks much better from far away. So the difference isn't just the lens, it's that I moved my feet. And that's why this gets confusing, because when you change lenses, you usually change your working distance too. So it feels like the lens is creating the effect when it's really your position. Lenses don't directly change perspective, they just influence where you stand, and that's what changes the photo. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the actual pictures that I want to take of Mark, both with a wide angle lens and a telephoto lens, and check out the difference. So at 24 millimeters, I'm actually gonna shoot him from pretty close up. I wanna get this dramatic landscape. If I could get even higher, I would. Can you come down on the rock a little bit? Just like that, there you go. Now let's shoot from the same spot with a telephoto lens. I'll shoot it at 100. And we can see the difference between these two focal lengths at the same spot. But I actually don't want to shoot him with my telephoto from this location. I'm going to move my feet to get the framing that I actually want. So the photo that I want to take with my telephoto lens is from way back here, because I want those mountains to look really big and compressed. in the background. So I'm shooting at about 85 from back here. And I'll shoot also at 200 just so that we can see the extreme, although that's not really gonna do what I want. Versus now I'm gonna stand in this spot and shoot with my wide lens. And so yeah, it's a dramatic landscape view, but there's a difference between the wide dramatic scene and that tight compressed look of the peaks. And we can see the difference between these two focal lengths at the same spot. Okay, now I'm way back here, further away from Mark, and I'm gonna take a shot with my telephoto lens. Okay, so now I'm shooting Mark here, 200, and we see how those mountains look super close. They're right behind his head. And then from this same location, if I shoot something at 24 millimeters, the mountains still look big, but not relative to Mark. They look further away from Mark. It's all about the distance. And yes, different lenses give you different results, but it's not just because of the lens. When I grab my telephoto, putting that lens on changes how I shoot. Distance is what changes perspectives, how objects relate to each other in space, like how big the background feels compared to your subject. The distance between the camera and the subject impacts distortion and compression. The distance between the subject and the background, that impacts the background blur, the background size, subject isolation. And the distance between the camera and the background, that impacts the depth relationships and how big that background looks. It's similar to depth of field. We think that aperture controls depth of field and how much of the scene is sharp, which it does, but it doesn't work alone. Depth of field is a factor of aperture, distance to the subject, and focal length. I mean, it's technically sensor size, but I'm trying to be practical, not overly technical. If we want to get overly technical, I'm sure Mark would love to do a video on camera sensors. Just let me know in the comments below. So yes, wide aperture equals shallow depth. Narrow aperture equals deeper depth, but also closer to the subject, shallower depth. Further away, deeper depth. And focal length affects depth of field mostly because it changes how you frame your subject and how you move to get that framing. Longer lenses often give the appearance of shallower depth because you're typically further away and compressing the background. Wider lenses appear to have more in focus, but if you're shooting with a wide lens and want a shallower depth of field, you can get closer to your subject while having the background be further away. Okay, so let me go here. And then I'm gonna have you walk with me, background separation, come closer to me. There's good. What we just did there was an experiment with the background separation, showing the difference between having the background right behind Mark and moving the background further away from Mark to see how that impacts that blur. So then what do lenses actually do? Lenses are really about field of view, how much you include, how much of the scene fits into the frame. We think of them as different size windows into the world. A wide window, you see everything. A narrower window, and you see an isolated view. Lenses change how much of the scene you see. Your position changes this perspective. We combine all of this together, and what we're really talking about is that story context, how the environment supports or competes with the subject. And this is why we say that certain lenses are best for certain things, like landscapes or portraits. But I'm always encouraging you to break that a little and experiment, because lenses change what's in the frame, but distance changes how it looks, and you know what that means? That means that you are in control of your photographs. So now you're asking, what's your point, Brenda? How do you actually use this? So first, do you want more depth in your photo? Sure, grab your low aperture lens, but then get closer, not just wider. Want cleaner backgrounds? Step back, use a longer lens, making sure that your subject is close to your lens and far from the background. When you're choosing a lens, don't just ask, what look do I want? Ask, where do I want to stand? Ask yourself how much of the scene you want to show, how close you want to feel to the subject, and what details matter and need to be sharp. So, distance controls perspective, aperture controls depth of field, but distance and focal length shape how strong that effect is. Focal length controls framing and influences how you position yourself. Think about it this way. If you stand really close to somebody, their nose might look huge. because it's distorted. If you step back, they might be the most proportional person you know. What changed is not your lens, but your distance to the person. And that's what gets lost when we look at these comparisons of here's the human face shot at different focal lengths. It's a little misleading because it's not showing you what's happening behind the scenes in order to get those photos. Here's what's happening behind the scenes in order to get those photos. You have to step back and then step forward and then step back depending on what lens you're shooting with. So it's not actually the face shot with different focal lengths, it's the face shot at different distances. Versus here's an actual comparison of a face shot at different focal lengths from the same distance. It just changes the window in which I see the person. And if I crop these photos in, you'll see that the faces all actually look the same, shot with these different focal lengths. So one last time, it's not the focal length that is flattering, even though that's what we say, because that's the more simple way to talk about it. And when we're teaching, we want to be practical. But if we want to get technical, it's actually your distance. And the good news is that your distance is something that you control, which is very empowering. Once you understand all of this, choosing a lens becomes a lot simpler and a lot more intuitive because it's not about the lens. It's about how you use it. You are in control, not your lenses. Lenses are just tools. What matters more is your vision, your purpose, your curiosity, and your ability to notice what others might miss. If you want to go deeper, check out our other videos on how to shoot with different lenses. We break this down even further on a lens by lens basis and get more clarity in our Learning to See Like a Photographer focal length field guide. Check the link below, and I'll see you in the next one.